Tayo po ay nagbabalik dito sa Usapang Bayan at kasama pa rin natin si Doktoresa Annali Garcia. Doktoresa, which is what you're called in Italy, right? Um, what do you do about or are you willing to do pro bono work, meaning to say na if there are certain art pieces throughout the country that need restoration work, but let's say the owners or the people who had inherited these pieces of art cannot afford to have them restored, no, based on the cost that you had mentioned.
Well, it would be a great opportunity to do that here in this country. However, I would also plan it properly na merong sponsors like maybe cultural institutes sa government, foundations. I'm very willing to be a part of something like that.
Is there anything, ma'am, that you would want to suggest to our government when it comes to preserving our culture and art?
Yes. Well, actually, no, because nga private sector na ako ngayon, I only want that sana magkaisa sila, different institutes, not turf issues anymore. We are the NCCA, we are the National Museum, we can just be one whole department. And I have actually submitted a report on how it could be patterned after the culture. These institutes could all just be under one department. So walang away-away, walang I'm the queen here, I'm the king here. Finally, also, if we could increase their consciousness to the level of a developed country, because we are one of the fastest growing countries in Asia today. And if we think like them, no, if we think that we are going to be a G7 one day, mag-iiba yung mindset eh. It's not about, oh my God, mendicant society, I have to feed all these people after a typhoon. Sorry, the money, walang pera. No eh, we're not gonna go very far or we're not gonna move forward. So parang for me, it's like, because we are a growing nation in Southeast Asia region, we have to upgrade how we think and also think of culture as a catalyst in spurring economic growth in the country. So that when they see how rich the culture is, how much they are producing good works, quality artists, quality doctors of art, this will show the people of the world that hey, the Philippines, they're just as good as the countries now, G7, G20.
I have a question. You had mentioned earlier that you also like to go to museums, visit works of art, and things like that. In your experience here in the Philippines, what can you see as the most valuable or one of the most valuable pieces of artwork that you have seen in the Philippines that needs to be restored?
Well, one interesting, enormous painting that Charlie Cuanco once told me about was the enormous Angkyukok in the TESDA office, in the TESDA government. It was huge, beautiful Angkyukok. And I would find that quite interesting to be a project for the youth.
Is that something that you personally saw yourself that needed
Yes,
some?
yes.
What kind of work did it need?
Cleaning and pictorial integration, TESDA.
Okay, so attention TESDA.
Enormous mural, beautiful. There are many murals everywhere, but that for me is an interesting piece.
I've been to Malacanang, fortunately, a number of times, and I've seen some very, very nice works of art from historical figures of
Right.
Philippine heritage. No, would you say that they are in great shape, properly conserved, and so on?
Well, I have been asked to check out a couple of enormous amorsolos that have rips, no, na napunit. And because there is just so many people to have to discuss it with, even if I've submitted my proposals, we never got the work done. Pero ang gaganda ng mga amorsolo artworks sa loob ng museum. And I'm not sure because I don't really follow it up or ask what happened because I'm not the type who'll push
Yes.
for a job. So I hope they can work on the collections in the Malacanang, but they are fixed by the National Museum because there is a mandate that the National Museum has to fix all artworks inside government offices and like the
Do
Malacanang.
you think the National Museum has the proper manpower, talent, and
Um,
resources?
honestly, they are working on it because they invite experts now from abroad and the region. However, I honestly think maybe they could further elevate the competence level of the people they farm out jobs to, and also that we could change the law that some of the work can be given to individual practitioners. It's just way too much, the job. You cannot just say lahat government, government. It can be sponsored, like it happens in some countries like
They adopt a painting or something
foundations or individual companies like Bulgari pays for the conservation of an important tiepolo from the 16th century. Bulgari, the jewelers, or parang sponsorships from corporate um, small companies, private.
What are the challenges in art restoration, ma'am? And as a specialist, how do you deal with these challenges?
Well, okay. First of all, I find it too selective. No, you only tend to just serve a niche clientele. So, everything's good. People are easy. They pay you well. But it must be more inclusive. You should be able to assist people from all uh, parts, all
levels
levels of
Yes.
society. How do we socialize it? Diba? So which was the question earlier, how do we do pro bono so that it's also funded? And because that is not the priority of the country, which is currently removing traffic issues, infrastructure, poverty alleviation, that is where I say that we must think like G7, like the G20 nations. We think rich.
Yeah. But talking about that, no, I just wanted to ask also, what level of value of an art piece would you say that is worth conserving or restoring? Because obviously, if something is worth, parang it's not painted by anybody known or something like that, or it's just a
Yes.
commercial thing, then maybe you shouldn't bother with it. So, what threshold would you think, or would you
Right.
say that a piece of art is worth restoring or conserving?
Right. Okay. First of all, it must fall under the level of an old master painting. Somebody quite important and commands already a good price in the auctioneering
How
world.
much is a good price? What would be
Oh,
the
well, I
threshold
cannot.
of that?
I'm not in the auctions business, and I do not sell works that I restore for
Yeah.
integrity issues.
Yes.
I never tell them, oh, after I fix it, I'll sell it for you. But unless they ask me, could you help me find a client, then I can refer, but keep me out of the sales.
I see.
So integrity, we just fix it for you, clean it up, then you go to the next expert, which are the auctioneers, the people in the sales. But then your question of, oh, is it worth restoring, throwing a huge sum of money for something worth 5 pesos?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So doon, syempre, you will tell the client, this is what it's worth. You willing to dish out this much money
Maybe
for my
for-
time.
Yes, for sentimental reasons.
Pero
If it was
meron
painted by their,
naman,
somebody that was close to them.
There are people with important lineage, and for them it's important to conserve it because continuity within of what they've inherited. That's important. We play a role there, and no matter how hindi naman yan ginawa ni it's not, wala namang name yan eh. Sometimes some people really make sure that it's kept within the family and never sold, never seen at all, never photographed.
Wow.
That's how possessive or protective they are.
Well, we're towards the end of our program, and I'm sure by now some of our viewers would be interested maybe to get in touch with you. So, how is the best way for them to get hold of you?
Well, I have an email, Moretina,
Which we're posting on
right?
on the screen right now.
Email, there's a landline. Just call, we're there to answer. I have a cell phone as well. A cell
Okay.
phone, you can call a Globe, 905-458-2850. So just text. Facebook, there's Annali Garcia. You can find that, Annali Garcia. And you see me there with my picture.
You said that it depends on how long it takes you to fix a work of art and how many there are. Over the years, how many pieces of art do you work in let's say a month?
Well, in a month, I can finish 2 or 3 cleaning, restoring.
I have one last question, ma'am. What can you advise aspiring artists out there?
On what?
About art, about their passion for art, and if they dream to become a famous painter one day, what's your advice?
For me, be yourself, travel, see the world, believe in your talent, find ways and means to get good patrons who will buy your works of art. It's not enough that you can paint. There's just a business side of it. There's always the business side of it.
Well, at this point, we need to end our program at yan po ang isang makabuluhang diskusyon kasama si Dr. Annali Garcia.
Thank you.
Maaari niyo po kaming i-like at i-follow sa aming Facebook page, Usapang Bayan. Ako po si Rach Marquez.
At ako po si George Chua. Samahan niyo po kami sa ating mga susunod na episodes dito sa Usapang Bayan.
Maraming salamat.